As New York City prepares for the historic first criminal trial of a former president, the NYPD, the Unified Court System and the Secret Service are working to secure the event that could last between 6 and 8 weeks, as Trump makes history by appearing in the first of several cases he's been indicted for.
Fundamentally, this is a claim about fraud. Right? The claim here is that Donald Trump paid somebody to hide information during the election. In doing so, he was able to improve his election standing and win the election. So by inducing somebody to engage in this kind of behavior, he basically committed fraud in a way that helped him secure an election. The hook into New York state law specifically has to do with the ways in which he carried out that fraudulent behavior. Specifically, there's money changing hands, there's checks being written on it. So there are business records being produced, and those business records are fundamentally flawed because they're premised on these underlying deceptions and lies. So really the legal case is about these false business records, but the false business records are just the legal hook into the underlying thing, which is you deceived voters in the United States by committing this fraud.
Jury selection could last days, if not weeks, before parties agree on the 12 jurors and 6 alternates who must decide the case.
The ideal juror for prosecutors is somebody who, if they come upon a stoplight at 2:30 in the morning, and even if there are no cars in the intersection, they're going to sit there until the light turns green before they leave. That's what prosecutors look for, someone who is by the book, someone who appreciates the rule of law, someone who is a rule follower. From the defense side, the lawyers will be looking at somebody who might have a more varied background. They're going to be looking for jurors who are a bit of an iconoclast, somebody who is not necessarily a rule follower, someone who may have challenged the establishment in the past, someone who will take a fresh look at things and be willing to think outside the box.
Trump, who has pleaded not guilty to the charges, is also the presumptive Republican nominee in November's presidential election, and who has railed against this and other cases, including his alleged efforts to subvert the 2020 election result, which he lost to President Joe Biden, and his retention of classified documents after leaving office.
This is all about election interference. This is all Biden-run things, meaning Biden and his thugs, because I don't know if he knows he's alive. And it's a shame. It's a shame what's happening to our country. This is election interference. They are doing things that have never been done in this country before. So we're going through this weaponization of our government to try and knock out somebody's political opponent. And so far, based on the polls, it's not working at all. The people understand it.
Unlike his recent New York civil business fraud trial and the civil defamation case related to his earlier conviction of sexually assaulting author E. Jean Carroll in the 1990s, Trump will be expected to be in court every day to participate in his defense. As proceedings get underway on Monday in a Manhattan courtroom, it will present a historic challenge not just for the city's law enforcement agencies, but also for the presiding officers, the prosecutors and defense lawyers, and those citizens who will make up the jury pool. In an election year, the stakes for Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg and his team of prosecutors could not be higher. And for a former president seeking to return to the White House, a conviction could add an additional layer to a presidential campaign and a political spectacle already operating outside of the norms of anything this country has experienced to date. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.